All right, here's that Excel file I did during the week in class. That is in Blackboard in this week's folder. So it says an assignment. So do the formulas, follow along with me, do the formulas in this file, and then send it through Blackboard, and I'll grade it as a quiz. So people that did not do quiz 3 or did not do well on quiz 3, I will drop the lowest quiz grade and replace it with this, which should be an easy 100 to get. So, and again, it's a good file to look at before we take the test, because I'll show you the questions I'm going to ask you, like on the test. So here, this is where I'm selling a product, $100. The old price, I'm raising my prices to $120. First, I'm going to make these dollars. I don't need pennies. I'm going to changing it to a currency, and then there is decreased decimals up here. Done this too many times in my life. So I raise my prices by 20% basically, and my quantity sold drops by 10%, right? So what I want to do is I want to create the formulas here in Excel, because the numbers on the test when you have to do your percent changes aren't going to be this simple to do. They'll be more realistic numbers. So here I'm going into the cell from the percent change of the quantity sold, right? I want to find that 10%. So equal open paren, again you have to have the open paren or this does not work. It's new minus old divided by old. So I'm clicking on the new 900, right? That's the new price, the new quantity sold, minus the old quantity sold. Again, just click on the cell addresses to build your formula. Life's a lot easier. You live longer, less ulcers. Close paren, do not forget that, or it does not work at all. Divide by the old. Right? You need the paren because if not, if you don't have the paren, it does the higher powered math function first, which is divide by, instead of I want to take D3 minus C3 first, then divide by C3. So that looks correct. I always expected that to work, but I know this will. It's a negative 10% change. And I could copy that formula down, but I'm just going to do it again for price equal open paren new minus the old close paren divide by the old. Boom, there's my 20%. So the coefficient of demand, then I take my change, percent change in quantity divided by the percent change in price. So equal, I'm taking this 10%, the percent change of the quantity divided by the percent change of the price. And I'm entering this in, it comes out to negative 0.5, and I don't want the negative numbers, so I just want the whole number. So again, after the equal sign, just double clicking to edit the formula. Some people edit the formula up here in the edit line, whichever one you want to do. After the equal sign, I'm just going to add this function on. So ABS, if I can spell it correctly, very good. Open paren, since I use the open paren, it gives me this little help down below. ABS of the number in parentheses, and the number is basically this formula. Close paren at the end of it, enter, and there's my 0.5. Let me widen my row. You don't have to if you don't want to. There's my coefficient of demand, so 0.5. If I go to the, notice I got another sheet here, right? The guide sheet. It has that picture from the PowerPoint presentation. So here we have this second one, right? It's inelastic demand. The elasticity of demand is less than 1. So if I raise my prices, total revenue should go up. So I'm just going to go back to the formula sheet here and figure out my total revenue. So I'm going to do for the old one first. I'm going down here and equal. I'm going to multiply total revenue, of course, is always the price times the quantity, $100,000, and I'm just going to copy it across. Everyone know how to copy this quickly. You go down to this. This is called the handler, this little black dot in the corner of the active cell, and I can just drag it across. So yeah, here it goes. My total revenue did go up. Again, it's inelastic demand. It's less than 0. So if I raise my prices, I will get more money. As opposed to, let's say another scenario that could happen. I'm just going to play some what ifs here. This is where you can play around with this before you take the test, right? Like say I raise my prices 100 to 120. Actually, I want to make it 121. I'll show you the formula changes a little bit. Still, again, inelastic demand. I'm still increasing my revenue. But say if I raise my prices by this much, I can't sell as much. I can sell 600. So I'm going to do 600 here for the new quantity. Notice then my coefficient of demand elasticity is now 1.9. And again, if I go back to my guide, here it is. If it's the elasticity demand is greater than 1, if the price goes up, total revenue goes down because, again, the percent change in quantity is larger than the percent change in price. Right? I'm selling a lot less. So again, same thing here, right? 40%, a negative 40% in quantity with a 21% increase in price gives me the 1.9. And then look at my total revenue, right? My total revenue goes from $100,000 to $72,000. So this is elastic demand. People are dumping my product. When I raise my prices, they're going to some substitute. Could be one scenario. So create this file, save it for the test, and play around with it a little bit. You're going to have to create the formulas with a calculator to come up with this coefficient of demand. Yeah, I might have something like this instead of the quantity 100. I'll have the quantity 995, the new quantity 603 or something. So obviously you can't do these formulas in your head. Comes out to 1.88. So just have these formula correct. I don't really care what the numbers are in the yellow here when you save this file, but I just want to see your formulas are correct. It's easy for me to look at these spreadsheets and see if they're correct. I just go here in the coefficients of demand and double click and see if I got the right formula. Right? I double click on this, I see if it's the right formula. So I will take a look tomorrow at the quiz for this week for chapter 4, and I'll probably do another video tomorrow, Thursday, to make sure I've covered things in class that are on the quiz. So any questions, just give me a shout. Hopefully this helps you.